Hey guys, my name is Ben McCarthy and welcome back to another video. One thing in music that I always find really interesting is how a song kind of comes together, how an idea evolves into the song that we know and love today. So with that in mind, today I'm introducing a new series here on my channel called Song Diaries. So the aim of this series is that every episode will take a look at one of my songs and I'll take you on the journey of how I kind of came up with the original idea, maybe that's a guitar riff or maybe just a melody, and take you on the journey of how that evolved into the song as it exists today. Basically, I thought it would be cool to show you how an idea like this gets turned into a song like this. In today's video, we're going to take a look at my song Lucidity, which is off my debut solo EP, Light Shade in the Crescent Moon. If you're interested in listening to any of my tracks, you can find links in the description. They're available on all kind of music streaming services. So Lucidity is a very piano-based song. I wrote it on the piano, which is a little unusual for me because I'm a guitar player and piano is something I like to dabble with, but I'm not like a very accomplished pianist. But the main sort of piano riff or theme goes a little like this. So it's this nice little piano riff that essentially forms the main theme of the song, and everything else essentially stems from that original idea. So like I said, I'm not a very accomplished pianist, so unlike guitar, where I might come up with an idea and I've got a lot of technical skill and technical ability to easily kind of progress that, with piano it's very much a case of having to listen very closely to where you hear the music going in your head and basically obsessing over the idea and very slowly kind of eking out all the best parts and following the direction of the theme that you kind of hear and feel. So I obviously didn't come up with that idea all at once. I probably had something like this to start with. And then I kind of had to figure out where I want that song to go, where I kind of hear the music going in my head. But that's the kind of cool thing about music. You can have one small idea that you can work on and you can transform into this theme. And then once you have an idea like that that sounds really good, you can basically extrapolate that and create an entire song out of it. And then when it comes to the chorus of the song, I'm doing a similar thing, like I'm extrapolating from that main original theme, but with the verse where I'm kind of going down the piano, with the chorus, because I want it to lift up a bit, I'm essentially going up the piano. So I wasn't really thinking about the specific chords or what kind of progression I might be using. In the example of like how I'm coming up with the chorus, I'm just thinking, well, I don't want it to go down, I want it to go up. I want there to be an uplift in the song. So we start from the same kind of point, but I'm now kind of playing up the piano instead of down. And then we go back to the main theme, and so on. So from that main theme on the piano, what I've done is simplified it to create a verse, and then I've kind of changed the direction, but with that same idea of keeping things simple, to then come up with the chorus. So we've got a theme, a verse, and a chorus. So let's move on to the next stage of this song's journey. So now I've got the main ideas for the song. I've got the building blocks for what 90% of the song is really going to be based around. This piano idea, we've got a verse, we've got a chorus, we've got a main piano riff, a main theme. So once I get that recorded, it's quite a simple process. Put my headphones on, I get the microphone set up, and I just start singing anything into the microphone that I think might sound good. These are not words, these might just be syllables, I might just hum it, but it's just to get the idea of the melody. And if you kind of repeat that and take a bunch of takes doing that, you'll get to a point where there's some ideas that you like. And then listening back, you can basically assemble those ideas together to something that is greater than the sum of its parts, and then start to work on that. Then you'll have a melody for the main parts of the song. And that's certainly how I tend to work. I'll come up with that melody first, and then I'll write the lyrics that match the melody rather than the other way around. So I found a clip that I posted on my Instagram when I was working on this song. So this would give you a bit of an idea of how it sounded just going through that demo stage. So we've just got the piano here and my original vocal.
Tell me what is the nightmare, what is the dream? Am I trapped in a space that's in between? So
even if we don't have all the lyrics at this stage, we've got the main building blocks of the song. We've got the parts on the piano written, we've got the melodies for the vocal, so we can actually start to think about the overall arrangement and move a bit more seriously towards the production side of the song. So the next thing to note is that the key of the song in the final version is actually different to the demo here. So if we play what I actually recorded, it sounds like this. The final version is lower than that, it's in a different key. So what I simply did here, because I'm not the best piano player, it wouldn't be easy for me to quickly transpose and re-record that. If you just capture that performance in the key that it is currently, and then in Logic you can just select everything, drag it down, 3 notes, and then you've got the song in the final key. Simple as that. So if we take a look at the song in its entirety laid out here in Logic, we can see that there's a number of different tracks and a lot of different things going on. But there's one particular element of the song that I wanted to highlight because I think it really helped shape the overall sound and kind of influence the overall direction of the track. So basically when I recorded the demo, it had a lot of just piano and just vocals, and I wanted to kind of keep that raw element and not really distract from that too much. So I made the decision to not have too much percussion in the song itself. I didn't want to have a full acoustic drum kit. What I ended up doing was using the bass and trying to add some rhythm and atmosphere to that bass sound. So this is what I mean. So getting my low end sound here, the bass side of things, from this virtual instrument in Logic of a bowed double bass, which sounds like this by itself. So you get those really low, deep notes that just sound really great. But perhaps that's a little bit boring in isolation, and it certainly doesn't really add any kind of rhythm or percussive element to the track. Voiceover Ben here. At this point in the video, I waffle a little bit about sidechain compression, which you don't really need to know about. The main point is I made the bass sound really rhythmic, as you'll hear in a second. Alright, bye. And then if you add that compressor to your bass sound, it will sound like this. So now we've got the bass that fills in the low end, and we've also got this kind of like really atmospheric, rhythmic, pulsing sound that helps drive the song forward. So if I just solo the piano here and I play the beginning of the song, and then I add in those other elements, that kind of like rhythmic bass, you'll really see what kind of a difference it makes. So one final section of the song here that I wanted to highlight is just before we get to the bridge. So it's kind of like after the chorus, so it naturally leads into the verse again, and we use those verse chords, but we kind of add some stuff to the verse and change it up a little bit so it becomes more of a section that leads us into the bridge that then leads us into the big final chorus. So it kind of really helps take the song along a journey. So this section sounds like this.
now hear me, I've been waiting all night to tell the same old story going round inside. Tell me what is the nightmare?
So the vocals here go a bit higher, higher in register,
Am I trapped
different from the verse.
space that's in between?
And then we've got this little section here. It takes us directly into the bridge with the kind of guitar solo. So first off with the vocals, as I've just kind of highlighted, the vocals change, they go higher in register that help indicate to the listener that this is something different, that something different is happening. And I've also added this track here called Dotted Delay. I don't think it is actually a dotted delay in the end, but this is the kind of idea. If I solo it, we can hear what's going on. So this is going on behind the piano and everything. And the delay is panning now in my right headphone and back to the left. So it's kind of doing that left and right type of thing. So I had this idea to use kind of a delay pattern to further help separate this section from the verse and make it sound more different. So I actually wrote this on guitar, ended up using kind of like a MIDI instrument for the actual final sound. But yeah, I grabbed my Boss DD7 delay pedal and essentially came up with something that sounded a bit like this. And finally, between the verse and bridge section here, we've got these little bits of texture and ear candy that help really kind of bring us into that next section. They sound like this. So that's just two very simple things. We've got a reverse crash and we've got basically a bit of feedback on the guitar with a volume swell added to it. So if we just solo those two elements here, sounds pretty cool. And just to kind of show you how everything sounds like when we bring all the tracks together, we've got a final big chorus that sounds like this. Then all those tracks kind of fade out with that delay tail there, and we just go straight back into the piano, the main section. And that piano is just getting softer and softer, being played softer, and then just rings out at the end. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, do like and subscribe. I've got more videos like this and some other kind of musical projects in the pipeline, so do stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.